Hi, I'm John Omaha, a licensed marriage and family therapist and the creator of Affect Management Skills Training and Affect Centered Therapy. I do a lot of work with addictions, with alcoholism, with eating disorders, and with sexual compulsivity disorders. And there's a common element that holds all of these together. And that is failures of emotion regulation. I will tell my clients, somebody sitting in the sofa, I will say, everybody who sits in that sofa has one characteristic in common. They all are here because they're having difficulty regulating their emotions. Now, the essential thing, a very essential component to realize here, and this is what I did my doctoral dissertation on, is the fact that people use drugs or food or alcohol or sex, or for that matter, stealing and gambling, and there are other kinds of activities, but they use those to regulate emotions that would otherwise overwhelm them. The reason these emotions would threaten to overwhelm them because they were trauma coded in childhood. In some childhood event, they experienced an intense emotion like shame, for example. And it was too intense for this little child to be able to regulate that emotion. And there was nobody to help them. And so that emotion got buried in the personality. Problem is, subsequently, that emotion, because it was unresolved, it was held in an excited form, where it's more likely to be expressed than any other emotion. And because it's so painful, just thinking about shame for a moment, because it's such a painful emotion, people seek ways to manage that shame. And drugs provide an excellent means for managing those. It's not a healthy means, but it provides a means for managing those emotions. I speak of it as chemically dissociating those emotions. And so thinking about shame for a moment, I'm thinking about cocaine, which is a drug that can chemically dissociate the emotion of shame. And the issue for the recovering addict, somebody who comes to a treatment center or to a 12-step program, is that until the addict is able to recognize, tolerate, and regulate that emotion, and until he has uncovered and resolved the childhood experience that caused that emotion to be a problem, he's at risk for using again. And that is why emotion regulation, the skills of emotion management are so important to the recovering addict. This may be difficult for 12-steppers to hear, but the truth of the matter is, addiction's not a disease. It has a genetic basis, but bad genes or mutations, there's no mutation that causes alcoholism. People have different thresholds for different emotions. And there's good evidence that alcoholism, people either have a low threshold for anger, people who are alcoholics, or a low threshold for sadness. And so they drink to chemically dissociate their anger or to chemically dissociate their sadness. It doesn't really work. All addictions are like this. The addict tries to chemically dissociate his anger, drinks too much, and ends up being very angry and hitting somebody and going to jail. So people are at risk for relapse if they've not learned the skills to manage their emotions. Many people substitute a reliance on 12-step going to many meetings, like 3, 5 meetings a week, even though they may have 5 or 10 or 20 years of sobriety, and they substitute that as a way of regulating emotions. I don't have an argument with that. However, the true problem, the real problem, the actual problem is emotion and its regulation. And if people can learn these skills that I teach and can go to a therapist and help and uncover the childhood adversity or trauma or misfortune that set them on the pathway to their current addiction or alcoholism, they can have what I refer to as autonomy. They don't get mere sobriety, mere abstinence. They get autonomy. They become a more whole person, able to self-direct. So that's the importance of emotion and its regulation to recovery. My name is John Omaha. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. You can find out more about my work at my website, johnomahaenterprises.com. Thank you.